He was just delivering pizza to an apartment complex until gunshots erupted nearby, and his 15 years as a SWAT sniper turned him into the only person who could save 12 hostages without firing a single deadly shot. Welcome to Hidden Valor. Before we share this powerful story of service, sacrifice, and hidden courage, tell us in the comments which city you're watching from today, and if you believe real heroes deserve recognition, hit that subscribe button. Tony Martinelli was everyone's familiar pizza delivery driver. At 42, he'd been working at Mario's Pizza for 3 years, driving his red Honda Civic to every corner of the city. Customers liked him because he was always on time and never complained about difficult deliveries. Tony's a reliable guy, Mario, the restaurant owner, would say. 3 years, never late, never lost an order. Tony had peculiar habits, but nobody questioned them. He always parked his car with perfect sight lines, as if evaluating every exit and entrance. When talking to customers, he'd constantly scan his surroundings, noting doors, stairwells, and potential escape routes. His pizza delivery bag contained odd items alongside the normal pizza boxes. A small flashlight, a multi-tool, and some strange metal components. For emergencies, he'd tell anyone who asked. Apartment residents knew Tony only as their dependable pizza guy, but in his garage, there was a room no one ever saw. The walls were covered with SWAT certificates, marksmanship awards, and the carefully maintained components of a precision rifle. What they didn't know was why Tony always seemed to assess buildings like a tactical professional, or why his movements had the measured precision of someone trained for high-pressure situations. Tony had served with Metro Police SWAT team from 1998 to 2013. 15 years as a precision marksman, but not the kind most people imagine. His specialty was non-lethal precision shooting, disabling weapons, neutralizing equipment, resolving dangerous situations without taking lives. Tony could put a bullet through a quarter at 600 yards, his former teammates would say, and he'd choose to hit the gun, not the gunman, every single time. His record was impeccable. Over 500 successful precision shots in hostage situations, armed standoffs, and crisis interventions. Not one had been fatal. His philosophy was simple. Every problem had a surgical solution that preserved life. In 2013, he'd taken early retirement, not from PTSD or trauma, just exhaustion. After 15 years of constant high-stress operations, he wanted something simpler. Pizza delivery seemed perfect. Driving around, meeting people, helping nobody get hurt. But muscle memory doesn't retire. The tactical awareness, situation assessment skills, and precision training remained, quietly waiting in the background of his civilian life. Tony's delivery routes had become second nature over 3 years. He knew every building, every security guard, every regular customer. The Maple Ridge apartment complex was one of his favorites, a 20-story building with middle-class families who tipped well and treated him with respect. His delivery routine was methodical in ways that seemed excessive to casual observers. He'd arrive 15 minutes early for complex deliveries, assess parking positions for optimal visibility and exit routes. His Honda always faced outward, never blocked in. The radio in his car wasn't standard equipment. He'd modified it to pick up emergency frequencies, police communications, and even air traffic control. Old habits from his SWAT days. Information was survival. Local police officers occasionally recognized him during deliveries. "Hey, aren't you Tony Martinelli from Metro SWAT?" But Tony would just smile and say, "I deliver pizza now." Most respected his desire for privacy. What none of them realized was that Tony's tactical instincts never shut off. Every building was automatically assessed for entry points, sight lines, and potential tactical challenges. It was as natural as breathing. That Thursday afternoon started routine. Tony had 5 deliveries in the Maple Ridge area, ending with a pepperoni pizza for Mrs. Chen on the 15th floor. He'd made this exact delivery dozens of times. At 12:47 p.m., Tony pulled into the Maple Ridge parking lot and immediately sensed something wrong. The normally busy area was eerily quiet. People were exiting the building quickly, some running. The usual sounds of urban life seemed muted. As he parked his Honda, positioning it with clear sight lines and multiple exit routes as always, he heard sirens in the distance. His trained ear picked up the pattern. Multiple units, emergency response, not just a routine call. Probably a small fire alarm, he thought, but his instincts suggested otherwise. Tony grabbed Mrs. Chen's pizza and headed toward the elevator. That's when he heard the first gunshot from the nearby office building. 3 sharp cracks, unmistakable to anyone with tactical experience. "Everyone get down! Nobody move!" The shouting came from the Meridian office plaza next door, followed by more shots. Tony's 15 years of SWAT training activated instantly. The civilian pizza driver disappeared, replaced by the tactical professional who had resolved dozens of similar situations. Panicked crowds poured from the office building. Tony moved against the flow, toward the danger, dropping the pizza boxes and switching his radio to the emergency frequency. "This is former SWAT officer Tony Martinelli, requesting immediate situation update. I am on scene," the dispatcher's voice crackled back. "Tony? Tony Martinelli from Metro SWAT? Jesus, we need you. Active shooter, Meridian Office Plaza, approximately 12 hostages, gunman barricaded on 6th floor. Our sniper team is 25 minutes out." Tony quickly assessed the tactical situation. The office building was 400 meters away. From the Maple Ridge rooftop, he'd have a perfect angle on the 6th floor, but he was in civilian clothes with no official equipment. "Dispatcher, I need backup units to secure Maple Ridge rooftop access. I'm moving to position." "Copy that, Tony. Units en route. What's your tactical assessment?" Tony was already moving. "I can get a clean shot on the situation. Non-lethal options available." Tony opened his Honda's trunk, revealing what appeared to be normal pizza delivery equipment. But underneath, carefully hidden and legally transported, were the modular components of a precision rifle system. Custom designed for discreet carry, it could be fully assembled in under 5 minutes. Using the apartment complex's maintenance access, Tony reached the 20th floor rooftop. Perfect elevation, clear line of sight to the office building, stable shooting platform. The tactical picture was clear through his scope. 6th floor of Meridian Plaza. An armed man positioned at the window, assault-style weapon visible, movement inside indicating multiple hostages. The gunman was agitated, pacing, weapon pointed at unseen people inside. As Tony assembled his equipment, rifle, precision scope, stabilization system, his radio crackled with police coordination. "Sniper 1 in position. I have visual on target, requesting tactical options." "Sniper 1, this is command. Do not engage with lethal force unless imminent threat to hostages. Repeat, non-lethal options only." "Copy, command. I have multiple non-lethal solutions available." Through his scope, Tony conducted detailed reconnaissance. The gunman's positioning, hostage locations, room layout, technical equipment, every detail was cataloged with professional thoroughness. "Command, this is Sniper 1. I have 3 tactical options. Option 1, precision shot to disable primary weapon. Target the weapon mechanism, not the individual. Option 2, technical disruption shot. Disable building communications equipment to create confusion for SWAT entry. Option 3, diversionary shot sequence. Multiple non-lethal targets to divide shooter's attention during tactical team insertion. Sniper 1, which option has the highest probability of success?" Tony paused, calculating wind speed, distance, target movement patterns. This was exactly what he'd trained for during 15 years with SWAT. "Command, I recommend option 1. Single precision shot to weapon system, clean disable, minimal risk to hostages." "Copy, Sniper 1. You are cleared for non-lethal engagement when ready." Tony controlled his breathing, settling into the familiar rhythm he'd mastered over hundreds of high-pressure situations. 400-plus meters, slight crosswind, moving target, but he'd made more difficult shots under worse conditions. His crosshairs centered on the weapon's receiver mechanism. The gunman was moving in a predictable pattern at the window, weapon pointed inward, toward the hostages. Tony calculated the timing, accounting for the subject's movement cycle. This wasn't about killing, it was about surgical problem solving. Remove the threat, preserve all lives. 3, 2, 1. The shot was perfect. The gunman's weapon disintegrated in his hands, rendered completely inoperable. The man stared in shock at the remnants of his rifle, unharmed but suddenly powerless. "Command, target weapon disabled. Subject appears unharmed but completely disarmed." "Outstanding, Sniper 1. SWAT teams moving in now." The SWAT entry team cleared the building in under 3 minutes. With no functional weapon, the gunman surrendered without resistance. All 12 hostages were rescued unharmed. The situation resolved without a single casualty. Tony quickly disassembled his equipment, returning to pizza delivery mode. But when police units reached the rooftop, they found him calmly packing his gear. Tony Martinelli, Senior Detective Walsh approached with amazement. "What the hell are you doing here?" "Pizza delivery," Tony replied calmly. Walsh laughed. Pizza delivery, my ass. You just saved 12 lives with the most beautiful precision shot I've seen in 20 years of police work. Other officers gathered around. Tony's reputation in the SWAT community was legendary. The marksman who never killed, who found surgical solutions to impossible situations. Tony, said SWAT Commander Rodriguez, we could really use you back on the team. Tony smiled but shook his head. I'm retired, Commander. The pizza business suits me fine. The story reached local news, but Tony declined all interview requests. However, everything changed at the apartment complex, where residents had witnessed the police response. When Mrs. Chen finally received her pizza hours later, she asked, Tony, you saved those people, didn't you? Tony shrugged. I just helped out a little. Back at Mario's restaurant, the owner looked at Tony differently. Tony, you never told me you were a police officer. Former officer, Tony corrected. Now I'm a pizza guy. But the community knew better now. Their pizza delivery driver wasn't just someone who brought food. He was a former SWAT precision marksman who, even in civilian clothes, remained ready to protect lives when crisis struck. Tony continued his pizza deliveries, but with a new level of respect from the community. Parents would point him out to their children. That's Tony. He's a real hero. The police department quietly offered Tony a consultant role, training new marksmen, advising on hostage situations. Part-time work that wouldn't interfere with his pizza schedule. Tony, Commander Rodriguez said, you can't completely retire from who you are. Tony agreed. Now he spends Tuesday evenings at the police academy, teaching precision shooting courses to young officers, emphasizing non-lethal engagement techniques. First rule, he tells his students, your job is to preserve life, not take it. Precision shooting isn't about killing, it's about surgical problem solving under pressure. But every day he still delivers pizza, because normal life matters to him. The difference is that now everyone knows. When emergency strikes, the man arriving with your pizza order might actually be the city's most skilled protector. The most powerful stories are lived quietly. People like Tony deliver pizza, do ordinary jobs until that critical moment arrives. That's when their true identity emerges. And we remember that heroes don't always wear uniforms. Sometimes they just wear pizza delivery shirts and drive Honda Civics. Have you ever met someone like Tony? Someone who looked ordinary but had an extraordinary past? Share their story in the comments, because at Hidden Valor, we value every moment of silent service. If this story moved you, subscribe and share. Let's keep giving voice to the hidden heroes. Thank you for watching, and remember, the person delivering your pizza might once have been the expert who resolved the city's most dangerous situations without firing a single deadly shot. Look closer. Listen deeper. Honor always.